Hey everybody, this is Kelly McAlpine of Road Chief Clothing, and I'm here to talk to you about how continental Africans, how they tell our people all the time that they're not from Africa and that their elders never told them about slavery, never mentioned to them how their long-lost relatives were taken from Africa and brought over to the Americas. And then when our people show up on their shores thinking that they're Africans, they quickly tell them, no, you're an American. You're not African. You're not from here. And they also call them white men and look at our people like they're crazy, look at them like they're stupid. And it's really sad that our people do that because they have no concept of reality, of the truth, and that a lot of people weren't taken from Africa like they said they were. It wasn't millions of people taken from there over to the United States in particular. Because when you go on slavevoyages.org, it shows you and it paints for you a whole different picture. And that picture is that about 300,000 people or less within the whole time period of slavery from the 15th century through the 19th century, about or less than 300,000 African people were taken from Africa. Not millions, as they had lied and said in the public school history books that they have throughout the United States, which we know now are lies and propaganda. So, the truth is, the majority of the people that was listed as slaves on the slave schedule or listed as free on the U.S. Census were actually American Indians that was listed as mulatto, white, colored, black, and Negro. And that's the real deal truth of the whole situation. Now, I'm going to show you some clips about African people and what they say about our people and what our people say to them because they think that they're Africans when they really aren't. And we also are going to see some clips about an elder saying that the numbers are off, it doesn't match, and there weren't that many African people brought over here. And that for people who believe that they are African American, that they never had spoken to the elders. They never spoken to the American Indian elders and the tribes to even get the right and correct numbers of how many African folks were brought over. And that the answers lie at the U.S. National Archives, where they had documented how many slave ships had came from Africa and where those slave ships went and where the cargo, the people, where they were taken, what plantations they were taken to, and all those type of things.
Men in this place anymore. Me, I thought I was coming to America to get my Prince Charming. Hey, I've been surprised. I'm still looking. I'm still waiting.
You're trying to find a good man. It's too late.
And let me call you back.
It's too late. You're trying to find a good man.
Okay, wait. Too late.
Fine. It's not late. Even if you do, right? Don't marry a kata.
Excuse me.
Yes. Don't marry a kata.
That's a very offensive word. You don't know that that's a wrong word to use? I mean, if somebody called you
She's from Africa. She actually went to high school in Zimbabwe.
Here's video of her hometown. Kidding! racists. But we did ask Denai something really interesting about Africa.
Do they teach about American slavery in Africa?
Great question.
It's a huge part of their history.
If they're being self-critical, people earn tons of money, Africans did, to round up other Africans. So what is this introspect? I say no, though. They don't teach.
I'm going to say definitely yes. I mean, I will be thunderstruck if the answer is no.
Please let her say no. Well, Denai, does Africa teach American slavery?
Somewhat, but you know, the world doesn't revolve around America, you know.
What'd she say? We were too busy thinking about
hen, pigs, rabbits.
Shut up, bro.
So where do slave trades occur? At the market.
Come on, that's nonsense.
So are you a slave trader? Yeah, I'm a slave trader.
Jesus Christ.
What do you normally trade in? Hen.
Guy.
Slave hens to others.
Yes.
Make una book am for animal slavery.
At what times?
During Christmas.
Oh, Messi. Oh, my God.
So would you say slave trade is a good thing?
Yeah. Because during slave trade, like, we get to enjoy ourselves.
You and who?
Your father, your mother, and your mother's mother, and your mother's grandmother.
What is slave trade?
See, when you go to market to buy some rice, apple, and onion.
Are you a slave trader?
Yes.
What days do you normally do the slave trading?
Especially Saturday.
God, why now?
Sisters see them as strangers.
We wanted to feel like we had come home. However, we later found that we weren't that welcome by the native population. We weren't welcome is because they don't know us, and we don't know them.
It takes just a short visit to the local market to see the gulf of 500 years of separation.
I don't want smoke. I want crack.
Most locals don't even regard them as fellow blacks.
You want Groova? I want Groova.
They call them Abruni, meaning whites.
How much you gonna charge me? And don't charge me old Bruni prices. Beanie.
I couldn't show you guys this video, but I will have the link below. But the African comedian Godfrey, he basically was talking about how African people look down on American Indians and how they think they're better and how they refer to us as Akata. The people in Nigeria refer to us as Akata, which means cotton picker.
About it. Maybe there are books that are out there, but I just don't know of them. Anyway, so coming to Africa, first in 2009 and now more defined here as I'm older in Kenya, you get called, regardless of your color, you get called like the local language for a white girl or a white person, which I'm not white, you know. Yeah, they call you, so in Ghana, the language was Twi, and they say, oh Bruni, but like, I'm not white, you know, so it was interesting, and it was different, and it was kind of like, no, I'm one of you, you know what I mean, but, you know, just some shit happened where Europeans stole my ancestors and brought us to America, but I'm still one of you, you know, and I'm interested in, oh, y'all hear that? Africa, man. Anyway, hopefully you can hear me, but, and then, yeah, so some shit happened, and, like, a part of your family is now in America, and some even in Europe, and, yeah, the rest of you are here, but I'm back to help, you know? That's my mentality, and they're like, oh, white person. Most of them are kids, and they don't know, like, the slave trade, or they don't know anything that happened, but yeah, we were just like them. We were just like you guys. You, if you were African, watching this. But, and then here in Kenya, it's the same. They call me, what is it? Mzungu. Yes. So it's Swahili is the language, and they say Mzungu. And it's interesting because it's like, am I one of you? Because color, yes.
To me, that you gonna
ask me, can you forgive? How long have white people been doing this kind of evil to the darker people in the earth? Since they've been here. And when we make up our mind, we're not taking it no more. Because it's better to be dead than to live under tyranny all the days of your life. This is why America separated from England. The tyranny of King George was too much for them to bear. So what did they do? They decided death is better. So it was Patrick Henry that said, give me liberty or give me death. And until we come up with that kind of mind, I'd rather be dead than to live continuously under this kind of tyranny. And when you think like that, you'll do what is necessary to move the tyrant off of you. With the help of God, we will win if we fight.
You don't need to
Damn, when I think about us and what we've been through, and you and I are getting up in age. So tomorrow, God willing, I'm going to talk to the youth of 90 tribes. 90 tribes, youth from 14 to 22. What is their future? What kind of future will we give to them if all we can give to them is what we once had, what we once did, how we once lived, and today we're living under tyranny and oppression? No, we have to give our children a future, and the future is in the land, but the land is in trust. The hell it is. We can break that trust, but it's going to take unity to do it. Believe me.
Speaking on that point of unity, a year and a half, almost a year and a half ago, because of all the thousands of people that I've met over my years, conversations with people that look like African American people, and when you really get down to the nit and the grit of it and ask them, what's your ancestry? Oh, my grandma was a Cherokee, or my great-great-grandfather was, I think he was a Seminole. And because of the stolen heritage of American Indians with black blood and black people with Indian blood, I felt that it was time to bring about a new organization that we call NCBI, the National Congress of Black American People, Indians. And when I made the announcement, in 6 months, there were carloads of people from California, Oklahoma, Nebraska, people that came out of the Wampanoag, people in Massachusetts, people from busloads of people from Atlanta. They all converged upon Washington, D.C. at this little church that only seat maybe 2,000 people. The aisles were packed. They were outside all around the block. And I asked them, why did you come? Because I had to see my family. And I said, what family? I'm black and I'm Indian. And I have never been to anything where black Indians or Indians with black blood came together under one roof. This was the first time in the history of this republic that black folks of Indian blood and Indian folks with black blood were able to come together as a people and not feel ridiculed, marginalized, or subjugated because they stood up and told the world who they are. I would like to invite the Nation of Islam, and especially you, my brother, to be a part of who we are, because we're already connected by blood. So the celebration goes on. I would like, building
on that beautiful picture of black men and women who have Indian roots and red men and women, or Indian men and women that have some black roots.
Seminole, you know what, brother? If you were to walk into any mosque in America and you just laid your hands on the first person or the third person or the fifth person that you see, you realize that you're laying your hands on a Native American?
I believe
there were only 8% of the slaves that came to America. So how is it that there are so many more people that they claim are black or African American? I think they got the numbers wrong, because a lot of Native Americans are the ones that they're counting as black folks too.
Could you put it up again, please?
I got it up right now. Can you see it?
Yes.
This portrait hangs in the Griswold Town Hall, Griswold, Connecticut. And I also
Hold on, Chief, that's a lot of echo. I'm gonna sit out on the porch here, Chief. On the porch.
Go in the other room there, in the kitchen.
I mean, if you guys could share one computer, that'd be cool.
Yeah, we can share one computer. We'll share the one computer. And then as I grew older, I come to realize things that, that I didn't understand when I was young, because I just myself, I knew that I was Indian, but a lot of the people that I went to church with were Indian. But I didn't know this, because there are a lot of stereotypes. What does an Indian look like? So forth, so on. And so people, but I knew that a lot of the people that I went to church with, they didn't look African. And so basically, that was a game that they used to take and mislabel and, falsify the documents. And we've been through many stages of color and Negro and then black and then Afro-American. I mean, it's enough to confuse anyone. And the other term they would use for an Indian is mulatto. So, I mean, when you see some of those terms, that there's a good chance that you think that you're Indian, or people in your family have told you were Indian, then you were probably Indian, But if you're looking for the stereotype, what you see out there at the Western reservations, they're on a reservation. They all look the same. Up here in the Northeast corridor, the Indians were Indians of color. And we had our genealogy was verified by the Mayflower Society. And they have the history the same way we had it through oration, because we weren't writing back then in the 1600s. And basically, they said that, the Indians up here of that tribe they were color, Indians of color. So, and they weren't Redskins. So basically, when you come up and because your parents made it perfectly clear to you, or crystal clear to you, who you were, and this is what you need to know. You need to know who you are. Once you find out and know who you are, then you'll have a purpose to pursue the things that are rightfully yours, because there are a lot of takeaways that happen in this country. And basically, that's what we're doing through FARA. We're using their laws to get our rights. And we were just ignorant of the fact coming up because we thought that you had to be federally recognized, but that's not true. And a lot of tribes and a lot of government officials, they think federal recognition is where it's at. Federal recognition is not where it's at, because what they're doing with federal recognition is they're taking away your aboriginal rights and they're making you a citizen just like any other citizen in the United States. And so basically, they call you Native American. And if you're born in this country, then you're a Native American. You don't have to be Indian to be a Native American. You just have to be born in this country. So when we looked at the laws, and we found that the provisions were there all along for us. They were in the Constitution. And anytime they spoke about our people, they spoke about the original inhabitants of the land, or the American Aborigine, or the American Indian. And so basically, if you stop and think about it, when these laws were written, there weren't any federally recognized tribes. You know what I'm saying? So these laws they were made for the American Aborigine, and what they've done is taken away your culture, taken away your language, your identity. So you have to take.
So as you see, when the American Indian goes over to Africa, that they're being called white people. When the Native Africans see them, and that the people over there, they don't know anything about a slave trade because they have not been taught that by their elders or by the media or the school system. And also another thing I want to point out is how Jay Nightwolf, how he told Farrakhan that you have Indians that's mixed with black and black people that's mixed with Indian, and there's no such thing because we know that the Paleo Indians, the original Indians, the aboriginals, were reclassified as black and Negro. Please subscribe to Copper Hot Step and Copper Hot Step 2.0 because he helped me out with the clips of the Native Africans calling our folks white people. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm out.